Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. In this video, let's discuss the Accenture QA automation real-time interview questions. Okay, so I have uploaded this interview preparation document in the interview preparation kit. Okay, I have pinged the link in the comment section and also in the description. Please do check out. I repeat, I have given this document in the interview preparation kit and I mentioned the link in the description and also in the comment section. Please do check out. Okay, so let's get started. The initial introduction, the initial question is about the introduction about yourself. You can tell your name and the number of years you have worked and what are the responsibilities that you played and what exactly you are working on, what are the tools that you were handling in the real-time project, and what are the environments and how many calls you had, and what is the duration of sprints. You can tell everything to the interviewer on what and all you have done in your current project. Okay, and then next interview question is about tell me your day-to-day activities as a QA engineer or a QA tester. Okay, so I have given the short interview ready answer. You can explore that. Do you have created framework from scratch, or you have maintained that? Okay, and how much you rate yourself in Java out of 10? Can you tell me the hoops concepts and relate it with your framework? Okay, I have also already provided the interview ready answer. Explore that. And then next, how can you use interface and how it is different from abstract class? What do you mean by static keyword in Java? How to call static method and variable in Java? Can I access static method by using object reference? How to call non-static method and variable in Java? Can we overload and override main method? What do you mean by wrapper class and how will you do data conversion? Can you convert a string a equal to 110a in integer into the integer? What do you mean by call by value and call by reference in Java? What do you mean by exceptions? Can you tell me some difference between throw and throws keyword? How much do you rate yourself in Selenium out of 5? Which locator you are using in your framework and why? What is the difference between find element and find elements? Can you tell me how will you handle multiple windows in Selenium, okay? And how will you move from one window to another window? Tell me the difference between implicit and explicit waits. Can you tell me some exceptions in Selenium? Can you tell me about stale element reference exception? What do you mean by user defined exception? Can you tell me what is assert in TestNG? Which assert you have used in TestNG? Can you tell me the order of TestNG annotations? Do you heard about the priority in TestNG? Can we set the negative priority? Do you work in Cucumber? Can you tell me what all files required in Cucumber? What is the difference between scenario and scenario outline? Can you tell me more about background keyword? What is the use of dry run in Cucumber? What is hooks in Cucumber? Can you tell me how will you rerun failed scenario in Cucumber? You have worked in Cucumber and TestNG. According to you, which one is best? Can you explain me TestNG? How to run single method multiple times in TestNG? Have you used Git in your project? Can you explain about it? Can you give me some Git commands which you used on daily basis? How to resolve merge conflict in Git? You have worked in Jenkins. Can you tell me how you created the jobs in Jenkins? They ask this question only if you have specified Jenkins as a tool in your resume. Okay, what is the difference between smoke and sanity testing? What is agile ceremony? Why the main method is static? What is runtime polymorphism? Difference between list and set. Similarly, difference between method overloading and method overriding. What is the use of constructor? Difference between static and non-static methods. Can you explain the Git workflow? Okay, and how to set up Jenkins? At high level you can explain, guys. I have written it in detail. Okay, can we declare many interfaces object class inside the interface class? What are the types of assertions? Can you tell me something about abstraction in Java and explain it? What is a super keyword in Java? Difference between break and continue statement. Difference between abstract class and interface. What is a static keyword in Java? Have you used the action class and where it is used? What is the difference between checked and unchecked exceptions? Okay. Apart from send keys, are there any other different ways to type content onto the editable field? What is static and non-static method? And what is the difference between this and super keywords? What is the difference between length and length method in Java? What is an abstract class? Difference between actions and action? How do you handle keystrokes in Selenium? What is dry run in Cucumber? What are the annotations in Cucumber? What are hash map and hash set? Can you explain? Where do you use hash map? Okay. How do you handle if XPath is changing dynamically? Does Jenkins require a local system for CI? What is a singleton class? When finally block get executed? How many times you can write catch block? What is the Maven architecture? And explain pom.xml file. Benefits you can explain. Okay, and these are the some real-time interview questions with Java you can expect. How many types of WebDriver APIs are available in Selenium? How can you make sure that page is loaded via WebDriver or Selenium? How can we launch a batch file in Selenium WebDriver project? How do you run Selenium WebDriver test from a command line? What are the different exceptions you faced in Selenium WebDriver? How do you scroll down a page using JavaScript in Selenium? How do you scroll down to a particular element? Which all files can be used as a data source for different frameworks? What are listeners in Selenium? How do you take screenshots in Selenium WebDriver? What do you mean by assertions in Selenium? How many phases are there in Maven build lifecycle? How will you handle the keyboard and mouse related action using Selenium? What do you mean by WebDriver? How do you handle drag and drop option? How do you handle Java pop-ups in Selenium? What do you mean by public static void main? And how to input text into a text box without sending keys? What are the open source frameworks supported by Selenium WebDriver? How to handle hidden elements in Selenium WebDriver? How to handle high frames in Selenium WebDriver? How do you handle drop down values? How to get the color of a web element? How to handle alert in Selenium WebDriver? How to handle multiple window tabs in Selenium WebDriver? And these are some of the Java online concepts for quick reference. Okay. And these are some of the hoops online concepts for quick reference. Okay. And these are some of the important interview notes on collections framework. Okay. And these are the some of the important interview questions with respect to the hash map. These are some of the important one-liner questions or the topics with respect to the string and string methods. And these are one-line questions you can expect from arrays. Okay. And these are some of the important interview questions from array list, like how to remove the duplicates in an array list, how to compare two array list. Okay. Similarly, how to find the missing element, how to reverse a string. So many questions, guys. These are the programmatic part. Okay. And then these are the Selenium scripting part. They might ask you to find the specific thing. They might ask you to write some script. These are the basically generic commands in Selenium for submitting a form, handling iframes, handling the drop downs, close and quit methods, exception handling, okay, different types of enabled and different types of methods, okay, actions, methods under the actions, okay, so assertions and many other guys. Okay, so this is a very important interview preparation document, so please go through all the questions before attending your next interview. You can also expect the same or similar questions in other companies also, like TCS, Wipro and Infosys, and many other service based and product based companies, or the client or in the client rounds after selecting into a company. Okay, so I have given this link in the this PDF in the link that I have mentioned in the description and also in the comment section. Please do check out. It's really helpful for cracking any interviews with confidence and also to work in the real time projects. Okay, so thank you so much for watching my video. All the best for your upcoming interview. Happy learning, happy testing.